Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back into the channel. Times, yes, 12 times. What is this about? Following from yesterday, those triggers of past, those triggers of things for it. Uh, Today is going to be a very kind of like an interesting thing because you are going to see what it seems to be, but it's not because it was what it was. And this is how it is a time for look at it in there for it. Are you living in the past or something from the past is gonna comes out and push your buttons. Um, you may also overlook past experience, past screw ups, past revaluations for it. And today is going to be one of those days that you're going to be digging into the past. The reason for this is the moon. The moon, your emotions, your intentions, your focus in there, because that's what the intuition is leading you to it. In there, don't blame the moon. It's just representations of that energy. Is going to be joining both Lilith, but the South Node in Libra. Talking about relationships, you may gonna evaluate a relationship from within yourself in there, all the way up to the relationships with past, with parents, with so on and so on. And what did you learn and what you have not learned? Talking about first of all from personal experience, but seeing at this took me a while to get into it. I look into the astrology, and I was looking at a little bit more from within what is it really preparing us for? What is that purpose that it's there? Because that is not the energy shift for it. And went out to look at it for the next year. I'm talking about just 1 year from now. What is it it's going to change with this? Because this is a significant changes that we are going in, and this is why right now it's that time that you really have to go ahead and really understand the purpose in the words. It is what it is for it, because most of the people don't accept it is what it is. Most people don't understand it is what it is, and most people don't live it is what it is. What is the changes though? We are going to be going very intensified changes until the next year, because in the next year for it, I want to show you the chart for the next year to what is it changing in there for it. So in the next year, we are going to have again, here it's going to be the North Node to the both Lilith and Venus in there. To for it, that doesn't change the year, that changed the month. There you go, that's what this is. So here is that we are going to have a lot of new beginnings in there. Particularly that in a year from now, where the moon is going to be meeting Lilith in there, and the south node Mars is going to be exactly at that first degree of Libra, talking about the relationships. The moon and Pluto, they're going to be in the first degrees at Aquarius. We are going to have Neptune and Saturn, the visions and the wisdom coming in with the first, the beginning of life. That is going to be Saturn and Neptune coming in together. And at the first degree, we are going to have Uranus that's going to be at Gemini. So as you see it, there is a lot of going to be at this first things. This grows up. But that leads me back until today, right now, of this moment, because this south node that it's gonna comes in to us for it. That south node right there, that's what this is gonna be helping us to look at things that not been processed, things in the shadow have been looked at, things what is in there. And the base of this shadow, you may be gonna be acting because it wasn't processed. That energy is gonna come in at 10 o'clock. You're gonna see it in your chart, but throughout the day, at the end of the day, you're gonna be able to process that energy with the understanding that what you were seeing there is not in the present. What you're seeing in there, it was actions, understanding, is something of the past of repeating patterns that they don't work anymore because you're here to create a new future. You're preparing for the next year. You see, the next year around this time, there's gonna be some huge shift from now until the next year. We're going to be talking more about this shift in there because during this shift, it is not just a new beginning. We're talking about new learnings. We're talking about new visions. We're talking about walking within the age of Aquarius. Pluto's not going to come back to Aquarius, to Capricorns anymore. And during those energies, those visions that you're going to get at court, there are going to be this kind of like a blinks from the past. But as I said before, the past has to be your library, just a reference. But that doesn't mean that you have to act upon it. Because if you learn the lessons from the histories in there throughout the world, but also history within your parents in there, within relationships, because that's a Libra, where you're going to be able to rediscovering, first of all, the relationship from within yourself that affects the relationships with others. And this is why it's critical you to heal your own self. Use that energy of Chiron that it's currently at Aries because that's what this is. Healing your own self. So with that being said, this is going to be the energy at the 7 o'clock in the morning. The ascendant is going to be with these unifications of Mercury and Venus. This is kind of like, yeah, I met the love, I get the love, but now I need to go back into things that I need to see. I have a trait in there that I need to remove. I have something that I need to learn. I will go back and dealing with this, but I cannot deal it at the moment. I cannot deal in with this because there is something I have not processed, something I have not seen. And since the moon is going to be walking within Libra amidst the both Liliths, which is the both Liliths, they're down here. Okay, you see it. This is the black moon Lilith, which is that is it, the min Lilith, and that is it, the true Lilith in there. But right here, it's the south node. And with that reasons, all that intuition is going to be focused within the past. Don't live in the past, but learn from the past. That's what it is going to be. Because if you think that the past is repeating itself, you're going to be repeating a pattern. But if you think and you look at it deeply from within you, what is that teaching you? What is that heading you? You're going to find out that everything that leads to those dark moments, it is about creation, creating a new, better life, reinventing life, reinventing yourself. But you not have to carry the past with you. So with that being said, for the next hour, the ascendant is going to be at Virgo. We are talking about midheaven. Is going to be with Mars and Jupiter in there. That particular energy squaring Saturn is kind of like, I don't want to learn and put in the brakes and things of progress. You may going to feel like the progress doesn't go, doesn't move in there. But right now, it is about you to take everything that goes on with wisdom. Usually Saturn and Mars, when they come together, this is the war. I don't want to learn this pattern. I don't want to get this pattern. And the person doesn't want to learn, or the person, it stays in my way. And here it's that war that comes in internally in there. You begin to develop these negative patterns. And since the moon, it is opposing Neptune, you don't have the clarity of the visions. But if you have the clarity of the visions, the moon, Lilith, they are trining the midheaven, they are trining Pluto. And all this, it's leading to Neptune. That right there, you have this clarity visions that a new future comes in, but it's not there yet. The future has not come yet. The future will comes in. The question is are you going to be ready for the future? And this is why some of the things that goes on and they have delays or situations or things that are complicated in there, you look at it more deeply from within yourself. So here is at 9 o'clock energy that I was just talking about it. That energy is gonna even be a little bit more increased in there. That duality, these doubts, the shadows, and so on. You're gonna be thinking about situations that it's coming and rise up. Particularly, we're talking about in the workforce because this is gonna be the time at work in there. But the authority says like, put yourself in order, heal your things. The sun is trining Chiron, and the sun is like, I'm looking for the new future. The same time, the sun is gaining the wisdom of Saturn. Okay, just because you have a war, that doesn't mean you have to fight. Most of the worst fights you're ever gonna be experiencing, that is the personal fight with the darkness of your own self. And since the moon is going to be joining those Lilith, you are going to be figuring out this darkness. You're going to be looking at into these situations. But those are things where in the past, okay? But as I said, try not to be jumping over. Hi, Dream Flame Power. Glad to see you here. So here is that 10 o'clock visions that you're going to be seeing things. And it seems to be a something, right? It's going to be trigger related to family patterns in there. It's going to be triggering this duality at the end because right now Neptune says like, no, it's not the end. You haven't learned the things of what you need to learn of this stage of life. This is what I'm retrograde. I'm gonna get back and I'm gonna be 10 move forward. But I'm gonna go back to Pisces if you for those who hasn't finished this. So if you think that you are squeezed as a lemon in there for it, you're gonna be squeezed the next year. There is always something more to squeeze out as this darkness that's gonna comes out. The purpose of this will be the transformations. But it's transformations where the midheaven is in Cancer. In the work related, this is gonna be: are we a team? Are we a family? Or everyone it's not in the same page? And if everyone is not in the same page, that's mean it's gonna be this pulling because everyone pulls and it says like, I'm the right, I'm the savior, I'm this, I'm that, I can do better than this person, I deserve more money because I'm gonna show you up and so on. That's gonna be too much situations within this. But the same time, this ascendant there, it says like there is no balance. But where is the balance started? The balance started something in the past. Some past events create this future moment. Okay, but if you're living in the moment of it is what it is, let me see what I can do to get it better without being attached too much to the past. We're talking about these drainings of energies and so on and so on yesterday for it. If you're holding grudges towards a person or holding attached to something in the past, guess what? Your energy is leaking there. The past has been go has been passed. You cannot do anything about it. Cannot do darn thing about that. But if you pay attention that you are transferring the energy of today, the energy of it is what it is, to it was what it was, and you stay there, your energy of today, it's leaking by. You basically put in energy to something that it was, not that constructive, positive, powerful self-reflections energies about the future that it's coming. Okay. So this is going to be this vision, this trigger, particularly at 10 o'clock energy. Later on, that energy at 11 o'clock is going to comes in. It's going to be showing you this pattern of what it was in the past. Some of the things going to be reevaluated as a family, but Saturn helps this. Saturn is like you need to create different situations. This is what this is all about. But all lies where? In your authority. You're authorizing to get that energies into the past. You're authorizing to see all this. And if you've been living in the past, you bring in the past within the present. And guess what? The cycle repeats itself. You basically bring it into the past, into the present, and the past becomes a present of you going through the same cycle, repeating patterns. And this is what is going to be this south node, those both Lilith and the moon coming in union. Okay, facing it down is going to be helping you really into the future. All right, talking about the next hour, the midheaven is going to be at Leo. The ascendant still is going to be at Libra. That's going to be opposing Chiron. It's going to be showing you the things that has not been healed. The power of this midheaven opposing Pluto, this is going to be this unifications there of the moon and the sun, because the moon is ruling Cancer, Leo is ruled by the sun. So intuition and authority, whether they meet in there. Okay, but in the other opposite end, that is there, Saturn and Uranus point. Okay, the wisdom and the innovation. You see, when you put all those together, they're all gonna comes in and do the power of creations, creativity. But where is the creativity right now? Creativity right now, which is Mars that creates the actions. He's in Gemini. He's doubtful. He's got situations. He has a breaks from Saturn. Saturn is limiting right now Mars, and Mars is getting agitated. And this is why you feel agitated, that your energies are going somewhere and you have no energies in the present. Where's your energy go? Too much into the future or too much into the past? So learning to live off it is what it is. All right, talking about the next hour, that's going to be the authority hour. The sun is together with the midheaven. You already guys know this is the same thing like yesterday. You're going to be feel good. You're going to feel great about this energy. The only thing that you can see and look at it inside is that ascendant of Scorpio. That is going to come in. It tells you it's time to look something that you're resisting to change. Coming in from that square Pluto. As the moon, it's going to be moving more towards the Lilith. You're going to feel this intensified pressures right here. For it. Since Neptune is going to get you back, this energy of the moon and Lilith is going to be increased, as asking you to look more and more in the past. In the next hour, this is going to be at 2 o'clock. The midheaven goes with Mercury and Venus pretty much in there. The wisdom has to be relearned. There is something you overlook. There is something you misunderstood. There's something you kind of like put it under the rock or skip corners. And now Mercury says like you need to relearn this wisdom. You got the wisdom, but it's not fully understand. You maybe miscomprehend something. And with that energies in there, look at it in your inside of your parents. Look at it within all this in there because a lot of positiveness is gonna come. A lot of positiveness because the ascendant that is in Scorpio, bringing those shadowing patterns into the light, they're gonna gain this courage. They're gonna give this growth that you are seeking and trying to achieve in there. But don't forget about it. Authority is you. You authorize it and think from it yourself. But also try not to put too much of your authority with what happened. So you can be basically trying to fix the past situation, past relationship, past things in there. The focus of what you're doing today, creating this positiveness because the new life is coming, the new energies are coming, the new rebirth of you is coming. And one of the parts is let go, live in the present. All right. Talking about the 3 o'clock energy is going to be a little bit more intensified. The midheaven, it's at the mid at Virgo. That's going to be opposing Saturn as square in Mars. Here is like what are you going to be feeling like blowing at the fuses that oh I cannot do this or I cannot get that. What is it usually people do in the relationship? Just because they cannot do something, that because they are depending on a partner, co-depending on a partner, what do? They let it go of the person and then they're repeating the cycle. They think that the other person is going to help them and so on. When you should be able to see that is your own pattern. Maybe a parent from parents, from grandparents that is in there. Okay? And you're going to dive in deep in there to that energy. That energy is gonna come in the next hour. It's gonna hit you really, really kind of like hard because the midheaven is gonna be there. Be mindful about work. You're pretty much maybe living at work and you're like, I want to go ahead and see what I need to do. But that energy is right now, it is opposing the North Node, basically sabotaging your future, and it's opposing Neptune. That is like a Neptune says, like, don't do anything. You're going to be repeating the pattern of your parents, the pattern of your grandparents. You need to understand there is something new within you. What is it missing? What did they have developed? What you can pick up the torch and moving forward instead of pick up the pain, the guilt, the shame, the unprocessed, the abandonment, and so on. You're gonna carry it with you instead of carrying the torch of fire. I can change this. I can make it better. This is what this energy is gonna be asking you about it. Because the next year, when a Saturn moves in there into Aries, Saturn's gonna be like, I'm gonna teach you advanced things. I'm gonna teach you secrets. I'm gonna teach you occultism. I'm gonna teach you how you to understand the secrets of the universe. I'm beginning a new cycle, new advanced things coming. Pluto, your subconsciousness going to Aquarius. I'm renovating everything. This whole old world is screws up. And that's what it's going to be. But it started from where? From within you. All right. Talking about the next hour, the midheaven is going to be still at Libra, divine energies with Saturn together with the Sun. Yes. When you have hard time, where do you go? You go to the wise, to the wisdom, to the energies of that process. Okay. The ascendant is going to be at Sag. That's going to be opposing Mars and Jupiter and squaring Saturn. You're going to be seeing this energy. It's like, oh, It hasn't worked for my parents. It hasn't worked for my grandparents. It's not going to work for me. It didn't work on my past relationship. It didn't work on in the past. It didn't work. Time out. Stop. Take that authority within yourself for your own personal growth. Take that responsibility that you're the one who has to make the balance. You're the one who have to make these cardinal changes about the balance, not somebody else, not your partner, not your partnership, not your work, not your relationships at work, not your relationships. It's you. Chiron is in Aries. You have to heal this. And that's what this midheaven opposing Chiron shows up where the problem is, as long you dig it in there. All right, talking about this is going to be at 6 p.m. In there. The ascendant still is going to be at Sag. That's going to be squaring Neptune and squaring the moon. This G square that's going to comes in is going to trigger those lower emotions. But they are asking you for one thing: review, not act, review, rethink, relearn. It's retrograde mode, okay? For it before, because before you redo, you have to reevaluate, because you have to know what you're doing. You don't want to be going insanity. We're talking about doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results with this energies. All right, divine work. Yes, it is. Mars, the Sun, and Jupiter, particularly if you have something in a Capricorn, and if you have that energies, the Capricorn in there in your personal chart for it, I'm talking about the ascendant. It is right in the middle of Capricorn. For it, look at it, that service, public service. Look at it, that energy of devotions from within. And this is how you are going to be able to understand those divine energies. But they're coming from Saturn, the wise advisor of the king, and goes into the king, to your authority, which is the sun. From the sun, it says like, okay, here's what we need to do. And all that energy is going to come back to Jupiter and Mars for actions that needs to be done. But you can't do the actions before you evaluate situations is there. This is going to be a going deep, dive deep within your own personal consciousness in there in the relationships. Where is the darkness was coming from? And right now I sense the moon and the main Lilith is there at 4 p.m. You're going to be looking at these energies beginning of that 4 p.m. till right now. You're going to be able to see it. Okay? Learning how to be selfish. So I don't been taking advantage of it. The generation has to stop repeating exactly. But it starts from within you because your generations as well. So this is going to have this like when you drop something in the water, you have that the vibrations effect in there, and that vibrations effect when it comes into it, it's gonna be passing. You have that ripple effect from one generation to the next generation, to the next generation, to the next generations. So you fix one thing, and that's gonna have ripple effect in what future. But it's the actions now of today. And those actions, they're going to be coming in because Capricorn is going to say, you need to do something. You can't just sit there and what you need to do. Well, Mercury and Venus, they are having this square with Uranus. You're going to be feel like you're not loved and so on and so on and so on. on abandonment issues and blah 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 blah. Well, you need to look at it where your focus is. Your focus is reevaluating your own personality in there or within yourself. All right, the next hour, that is going to be when Pluto is going to be the next year. And there you're going to see this positiveness. Pluto says it's time to change, it's time to transform. Meet heaven, it's the inner work at Sag. It's time you to get inspired, read something, watch something, go look and get some things that it's actually the art. The art, it is the form that it's left over the years. We have all those sculptures, we have all those poems, we all have all those philosophy, we have all the religion wisdom that it's been left there. Something is going to come in to help you. But as you see it, Pluto and the ascendant, they help pretty much everybody. Because everyone is going to go through what? Through transformation. But the transformation is from personal to collect. And this is why when someone is outgoing and into this process of deep transformations in there, look at it. What is the transformation from within you? Don't judge, support in there. And in the next hour in there for it, this is gonna comes in and really it's gonna be trigger the crap out of you. I won't be sparing at that because the ascendant that is in Pisces right now, it is opposing Mercury retrograde in Venus, and that is a square in Uranus. You see, this is the time when in the moments of weakness, what is it that most people do in the moments of weakness? They shut down, they break down, they close down, and they are ready to destroy everything that they built and they work so hard for it. And if you look at it in there to it, that's going to be affecting those relationships, especially with the moon being into Libra. A lot of the people, what they're going to do, destroy the relationship. Why it is about you to see the relationships the way they are and to see what is your part that leads you to this. Because the sun is trining Chiron, midheaven, the inner work is trining Chiron. Those are the synchronized energies, not all these tensions. The tensions, they only shows up the problem. But within the problem, there is the solution. And the solution in there is you to take that wisdom from Saturn to apply it into your authority and to heading to a self-healing. Okay. Heal your own darkness within relationship. That's pretty much it. Well, here is that 10 o'clock ascendant that it's going to be opposing. You're going to be seeing it that it's typical energy. And you're going to be mad because this energy in there is attached into the North Node. You're going to be seeing it like, oh my God, I'm a self-failing in myself. Oh my God, if you listen this crap for the past, if I'm hearing that the past is going to repeat itself, because you invest in energies in the past. Now this energy has to do something there, right? If you're acting the same way, you're acting like maybe in the base of a parents in there or situations or whatever it is for it, the past is going to repeat itself. But if you dive deep, you dive deep, you're going to the Pluto, and from Pluto you're going to Neptune. Oh wow, I'm acting like my parents, are acting like my grandparents. I'm acting because I put energies into the past. And it seems like it's this, but it's not. Because you're in a different time. You're in the time of the present here. But your mentality, your focus is in the past. And since the Lilith, the moon is going to be between the two Liliths in there and the south node, this is going to be huge, deep evaluations of what was the relationship with me and what is that I did in the past within the past relationships. This is going to be digging deep there. And you're going to go with that energies at 11 o'clock. That is going to come into to you for it. But at 11 o'clock, the divine is helping you. And it says like, seek the wisdom. Then put that logic, put that love, put that understanding. Okay? Put this deep transformations. Go purge. You don't need this past. Let go of the past. Forget about the past. But bring wisdom of what the past is taught you. Saturn is retrograde. Brings you that moment. It's like, I told you so. Leave the past. Can you do something what your parents or grandparents screws up? Can you fix them in that present moment of time in the past? No, you can't. So we can have a different outcome. But it can change one thing, and that it's you. Okay? That is you. And if you stop living in the past, you still start living into the present, you're understanding that it is what it is. You're going to be creating an understanding of what is going to be. Because your actions today is going to create the future tomorrow. Okay, guys, that's all I have for you. Thank you guys for coming, and I will see you later. Okay, guys, appreciate your comments. Be love and seek, be patient within your own self. All right, guys, be love. Twin Flame Power, thank you for your comment. Glad to see you here in the chart.